And Suhail Shaheen joins me on the line. Suhail, we are hearing reports that Mullah Barada has landed in Kabul. Can you confirm that for us?
No, I refute that report. Mullah Barada is here in Doha. He has not landed in Kabul.
And we have also received reports that a transitional government has been formed. Can you give us any clarification on that and what the details of that type of government would be?
No transitional government in place. That is not discussed, and only our forces are at the gate of the Kabul city. We are awaiting a peaceful transfer of the Kabul city. So that is the situation. Otherwise, that are reports or rumors.
Suhail, what we've been hearing is that the Taliban fighters, as you mentioned, are at the entry points of Kabul. What has the Taliban leadership told them to do?
Our leadership told our forces to stay at the gate of the Kabul city, not to enter the city, and we want to talk about peaceful transfer of power so that the city and the people, the city is not damaged and the people's lives are saved.
Suhail, apparently a delegation is headed to the presidential palace in Kabul. Can you confirm this for us? And if it is true, what will they be discussing?
There is no delegation from our side in Kabul. All our negotiation team's members are here in Doha right now.
Suhail, what is the best option here for the Taliban? What do you want to see happen? What sort of concessions do you want from the Afghan government?
We want a peaceful transfer of power of the country, and also we want to enter the capital city peacefully to maintain the security of all the people, and we have announced there will be no revenge on anyone. There is a general amnesty announced to all, and all people will can serve the future government on the basis of their talent. So we want an Afghan inclusive Islamic government in which all Afghans see themselves and have participation.
Suhail, what is your message to the Afghan people, especially those who are very concerned at the moment about what's happening in the country and who are trying to cross the borders to areas they believe are safe? What is your message to them?
My message to them is that they stay at their home. This is their country. We will all together build this country, serve this country, so they should not have any worries, any fear. Their lives, their property are safe. This is my message to them.
There are fears, though, that under this Taliban rule, the rights of certain people, of minorities, I think of the Hazara, young women and girls, will be eroded. What do you say to that?
No. These are some, many of those reports are propaganda reports, not based on reality. What I'm speaking is the policy of the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. So Shia, other people, other ethnicities of Afghanistan, we are brother ethnicities all are Afghan and Muslim. They have equal rights and they are equal to the law. So I call on them not to have any kind of worry.
Respectfully, Suhail, that may be the message from the Taliban leadership. However, the reports that we've received from people on the ground, incidents our reporters have told us about, seems to be very different. Are there Taliban fighters who are not listening to the Taliban leadership and going about or meeting out their own version of how they think things should be playing out in the country?
No. Some of the reports, they are baseless and exaggerated. What I'm saying, it is a policy, and I'm speaking of the law. All have to obey that. If there is anyone not obeying that, he will be prosecuted and tried and punished.
Suhail, for a very long time now, the Taliban has been a military organization, and you've used your military might to take over most of Afghanistan. How is the transition going to be from a military leadership to now a governing political body that can also be seen as legitimate to the international community as well as to your neighbors in the region?
We are not military power, we are political power as well. We were what they call a shadow government, a de facto government in Afghanistan. We were controlling 80% of the territory of Afghanistan. We have different commissions, which are equal to a ministry right now. So our people who have experience of the past 20 years, so they have all kinds of experience in different commissions like mining, like NGOs commission, financial commission, education commission, agriculture commission, so economic commission, and many others like a government. So these are what they are calling us only military force. I think that is not correct.
Suhail, we've mentioned the different tribes, for example, in Afghanistan, and you speak about inclusion in the country. How is the Taliban going to go about trying to bring that into effect?
Yes, when we are saying that all people's lives, property are safe, that we will give opportunity to all Afghans to serve their people and to serve in the government on the basis of their talents. That is, I think, a clear policy, a clear roadmap for future government.
And what do you have to say to the international community, especially those countries who do not see your group as a legitimate political organization or military organization and have condemned what you've been doing in Afghanistan? Because at this point, you will still need the help of the international community.
Yes, those countries should know that we are supported by the people of Afghanistan. We represent the aspiration and the desire of the people of Afghanistan, the will of the people of Afghanistan. So in many provincial cities, you may have seen that the people were welcoming our forces. So it is a popular uprising. So they should also accept the people of Afghanistan in their aspiration, because it is not possible for a faction, a party, to fight for 20 years, and if it has no popular support among the people. So we are from the people, among the people, and supported by the people. So all those countries also, they should accept the people of Afghanistan.
Okay, so you say that you have the support of the Afghan people. So when you take full
Yes.
control, would you be willing to hold elections to see how much support you have at the polls?
So that is what I have been seeing as between the two teams and all the Afghans what they decide. When the Afghans decide, it is, I think, something for the future.
Okay, right now there are international countries removing their embassy staff from Afghanistan. But there are some that are remaining. We're hearing that the Russian civilians will still be in the country. What do you have to say to those international communities, and not just from diplomatic missions, but from humanitarian organizations like the UN, who are still staying in the country? Are they going to be safe?
Yes, they will be safe. We have said this not once, many times, and we have issued statements regarding the security of all embassies, diplomats, NGO staff. We are committed to that. They should not have any kind of worry. They can continue their activity without any worry and concern. That's our commitment.
Suhail, you are in Doha right now, and it is where diplomatic talks have been taking place between the Taliban, between the UN envoy to Afghanistan, as well as several other countries. Were you in talks with them before you moved closer to Kabul?
Sorry, if you repeat your question again.
You're in Doha at the moment, where there have been those ongoing discussions between the Taliban as well as the US and some other countries. Before moving into Kabul and looking at this transitional government, did you discuss it with the US?
Yes, that I said, we have instructed our forces to await at the gate of the Kabul city and not to enter the city. And we want to talk about peaceful transition of the Kabul city and a peaceful transfer of power. So we want to discuss this. Yes.
The Taliban members or leadership, are you looking at any other regional powers for assistance going forward as you try to move the country into a new form of government and essentially a new part of your history?
Do you mean about the regional countries?
Yes, I'm referring to Pakistan, for example.
Our cooperation with the regional countries, do you mean that?
Yes, yes. China, India, Pakistan, Russia.
Yes, yes. We want to have cooperation not only with neighboring countries, but all regional countries and world countries, because we will not be able to reconstruct and rebuild Afghanistan without cooperation of other countries. There was a war for 4 decades in Afghanistan, so there is need for cooperation of all countries, and I think it is their moral obligation to participate in that. So when the peace returns to Afghanistan, there is a need to create employment for the people of Afghanistan, and also to focus on reconstruction of the country.
So what type of aid and assistance would you then be looking for from other countries, the type of investment that is needed for employment, for economic growth, to help Afghan people who for a very long time have been struggling?
Yes, there is a need, I think, in every field for construction of our infrastructure, our investment in our natural resources. Afghanistan is full of natural resources. There is need for that. Also need for investment and work in agriculture, industries, dams, education sectors. So all there are in many fields.
And the Taliban leadership met with the Chinese government. Going forward, as you try to move the country into a more prosperous era, what was discussed with China in terms of economic support?
Yes, there was recently developments in Afghanistan, and we went there to also to assure them, because there are many rumors that the soil of Afghanistan will be used against the neighboring countries. This was one part, and the other part was that their contribution to reconstruction of Afghanistan, and also to help the people of Afghanistan in humanitarian aid, that all were discussed.
Suhail, can you give us a time frame of when the Taliban and the leadership will be back in Kabul? From what I understand, most of the leadership is now in Doha. But is there a time frame of when you will return to Afghanistan and the transition can actually start taking place?
I think when the transition takes place, we immediately will be there.
And Suhail, America, of course, for a long time, for 20 years, has been in the country. As the troops start leaving, what role do you see the US still playing in Afghanistan, considering that just a few weeks ago, Joe Biden said that he would still support the Afghan government? How is that now going to look when the Afghan government is going to be completely different?
Yes, we are telling the Americans that they close this chapter of invasion and occupation and open another chapter of reconstruction in cooperation with the Afghanistan and the Afghan people. In that chapter, we will come. Their investment, their cooperation for the economic prosperity of the people of Afghanistan in reconstruction of the country.
Suhail, talk to me a bit about President Ashraf Ghani. He is still seen right now in Afghanistan, and I would think the international community, as the leader of the country. But during those talks in Doha, it was one of the conditions the Taliban wanted to see Ashraf Ghani go. What do you want to see happen to him now?
So, as he designs, it is up to him. But what we want is a peaceful transfer of power. Where he goes, it is up to him, not up to us. But as I said earlier, we want a peaceful transfer of power in order the Kabul city is not damaged, and the proper properties of the people and the honor of the people and the lives of the people are safe. That is our purpose.
Suhail, do you have any assurances to the current government, to the leadership, that they will continue to be able to be in the country, to live out, that nothing will happen to them?
Yes, there is a general amnesty. So you can see it is announced, I think, twice, announced for all people of Afghanistan.